Draymond and Kenny?
Yeah, they're going to be doubtful, and everybody else will either be, not have a designation or questionable.
Did Javante do some stuff today?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Coach, in light of the craziness that's happening with all these teams with COVID right now, are you guys thinking about isolating Brett Rippon or bringing another quarterback in case? Are you guys considering any of that stuff?
Yeah, we already basically did that with Brett this week. He was not in the meetings. He was virtual meetings. And when he was out here on the field, he was under strict orders to not be near anybody.
Okay.
So we've kind of done that with him.
Is he the only position?
What's that?
Like quarterback, is that the only position? Like make sure you're isolating that one position? Is there any other?
Yeah,
position?
we've emphasized with everybody to spread out on the practice field.
But like position groups, like just like you keep an extra linebacker away, keep an extra offensive lineman away.
We're meeting in the indoor,
Right.
and we're way spread out. Okay. So the key is that tracker device doesn't flash.
Are you still up in the idea your Raiders game will be on schedule for Sunday the following week, or could that be a fluid situation? Since Browns Raiders moved?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, they moved to Monday. I just didn't know if they.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Vic, do you know the number of percentage of players that
I do not know that. I don't think we've had many, but again, that's a guess. I have no idea.
Vic, there's the team's doing some, taking some players, ex-players, to the DT's memorial service at Georgia Tech. Can you just speak to what that means to be able to do that for these guys?
Yeah, we had to jump through some hoops there. We were going to do it. Patrick can obviously. Why don't you give him all the details on that? You know it.
it would be nice.
Yeah.
Will Javante have any limitations on
No.
Sunday?
No.
You had Brandon go basically touch back on every kickoff. What went into that strategy, and will you continue? Or
really, strategy-wise, there's really no strategy to it other than we just felt like, trying to put them on the 25 rather than trying to pin them. It's something we think as a coaching staff, you go through the week, where do you want these drives to start? You go against certain offenses, you try to pin them. Other offenses, you put on the 25. And that's really the strategy you go into each week with.
What kind of unknown is there for preparing for the Bengals, and who's going to return punts for them?
It's a big unknown, we don't know who it's going to be. Boyd finished the game for him last week. Irwin, 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, was their return. They got Taylor there. He's been a great returner with the 49ers, so we're preparing for all three of those guys. I can't really give that away because we have one here in the building that gets him every week. He gets a lot of reps, and I don't really want them to know. So we have one. We're good, and we feel like he can definitely get us through a game. Very, very, very capable player.
Tom, off-topic question. You mentioned this a couple weeks ago about college kickers not attempting 50-yarders. The
Right.
two All-American kickers this year had combined one.
Right.
Is that a new trend, and how much tougher does that make you to evaluate those?
It makes it real hard to evaluate. When it really started to change probably around 2014, is when everybody started kicking a lot more 50-yarders in the league. And so it's very, very hard to evaluate if they can do that. I think personally, if you go find the big leg guys, the Tuckers and those guys that are coming out, that's what all of us are trying to really find in college, because it's easier to kick field goals in the NFL, like I was saying, than it is in college because the hashes are moved in. And that's why they don't kick as many, in my opinion, in college. Those hashes are so wide, the angles are tough to kick when you're on a hash. Now, in the middle of the field, you see a lot of college plus 50 kicks.
Is McPherson one of those guys who kicks?
Oh, yeah, he could do it in college. Yeah. I thought I had him very, very high. I don't really get many guys that I give a draftable grade to. Definitely a draftable grade there.
Brent McMahon was named the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week this week. Do you take any pride in that, being his coach?
You know what? That's Brandon. And I just look at when players succeed. I think that's as coaches. That's the biggest thing we want them to do. It's like when guys leave special teams and they go start at wide receiver, they go start at linebacker. That's one of those things where that's where they want to be. And you just take pride in that. When they start to excel. And Brandon's excelled his whole career.
speaking of that, Jonas may be up at inside linebacker, and Vic was pointing out that he would be the 8th inside linebackers. That have been a challenge for you, finding those bodies for special teams?
It's not really the challenge of finding, but the puzzle pieces. You know, guys play certain positions and they get comfortable at it, and then when you get injuries, what happens is what people don't realize is with the injuries, guys got to go play a different position. You know, it's moving from left side of punt to right side of punt. That's a big deal for a lot of these guys. So that's been the hardest part. The pieces keep kind of molding back in to different spots, but they're coming back to a different position because somebody else has become the expert at that spot.